Hello, Mrs. Carr and Mrs. Fry's class. Today is Friday, which means that we officially made it through our first week of the fourth marking period in online learning. Today, you're going to be working on a math lesson. We're just continuing the lesson from Wednesday, which means we're looking at points, lines, line segments, rays, all of those things that we talked about along with angles. So, a little review. Remember, a point, it's just like it sounds. It's a point. It can be a part of almost any geometric figure. Doesn't have to be point A. You can name it with any letter you want, and it can be located anywhere. A line. There was some confusion I noticed in your exit slips on Wednesday about lines. Lines can go in any direction. They don't have to be horizontal. They can be vertical. They can be diagonal. Also, you can name them with AB, BA. It doesn't matter what direction you start with when you're naming your line. Yes, lines do go forever. You can never draw all of a line, which is exactly why we put the arrows on there, because it continues forever and ever and ever. Imagine that these points were going in both directions till the ends of the earth, basically, which is why we have to put arrows to represent them. Line segments. Most of you did understand this concept. It's basically like you made a cut at two endpoints and pulled it off of the line. So if I had taken this original line AB and made a cut at point A and B, I pulled out a line segment, which is just part of a line. It can also go in any direction. It doesn't really matter if it is vertical, horizontal, diagonal. It doesn't matter. It just depends on the figure. Rays, kind of a combination of the two. We have an endpoint, which means that is definitely the starting point. When you name this ray, you would actually have to start with the A. It doesn't matter with lines or line segments, but you have to start with the endpoint. And then you have an arrow, meaning that it would go forever and ever and ever with an infinite amount of points. Finally, we talked about angles. And I noticed some people are a little bit confused about vertexes. Vertex is just a point, but it's a connecting point that connects two rays or line segments for how the angles move. Best way I can relate it to you at home with something you can look at is a vertex is kind of like your elbow. And it connects your forearm and your upper arm. So like right now, I'm basically just making a straight angle with this being the vertex. If I start to rotate, that's where the degrees come in. Right now, I have an obtuse angle. Look at my opening. It's very wide, more than 90 degrees. If I continue to rotate at my elbow, which is the vertex, I can make a right angle, a 90-degree angle. And then I'm going to continue to close it. Now I have an acute angle. You can see. So if you think of your elbow like a vertex and you move your arm back and forth, you're making different angles. Straight angle, obtuse, 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 obtuse. Right angle, acute, 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 until I get a whole way to a 360. I can't close my arm that much. I hope that helps you with the visual. Today, when you're doing your assignments, you're actually going to be on Khan Academy, and when you get your scores for those activities, you can just put them right on your Google Classroom. You can put it right on your assignment, or you can Gmail me if you want to. And if you can, I want you to create a geometric drawing. That's the last activity for today. If you can take a picture of it and attach it somehow and send it to me or put it on the Google Classroom, that would be great. Today, I made one as well. So I tried to include all the figures, line segments, lines, right angles, obtuse angles, points, rays. My little birds are made of acute angles. So I want you to do something similar with your own geometric drawing today. That's going to be the last activity for the week for me. So I want to remind you to visit our classwork page and to make sure that you are clicking on Mrs. Fry's page to do her ELA and your special for today. And I'm going to leave you with a joke, kind of like I do in school. Why was the obtuse angle so upset? Because he was never right. There's your corny joke for the day. I hope you have an excellent one and have a good weekend. Go get it.